Aloha and welcome to this practice WOD called Project Euler Problem 3. And this is basically just another super simple JavaScript programming problem that we're going to use just to practice doing JavaScript under kind of combat conditions and using JS Fiddle. And we're going to be solving in this instance the largest prime factor problem. And this is an object, this algorithm, there's a lot of different algorithms out there that vary in their scalability and various properties, and for this problem, we're going to go with the simplest one we can think of. It doesn't have to be real efficient. And feel free to look up on the net different algorithms, and this isn't something where I'm kind of expecting you to do a lot of creative problem solving. What we got to do is start the timer, and then we're going to write a function called Project Euler 3, which is going to compute the answer and print it out to the console. So we'll say var, I've got it in here, Project Euler 3 equals function, and I'm going to just because I kind of like doing it this way, I'm going to pass in the actual value that we're supposed to compute the largest prime factor for, which is this one. I'm not going to make a global variable for it. That just seems kind of lame. And so in order to solve this problem, what we're going to do is we're going to create an array called factors. Okay, and we're going to start off and we're going to have a divider. We have a variable called divider, and we're going to initialize it to 2. And our basic idea here, the simplest way that I can think of to solve this problem is to test our current divider, and if it divides equally into our num, then we'll actually reassign num to the result of that division. So we'll reduce the value of num, and then we'll try again with that divider. And once we can't divide with that divider anymore, we'll go on to the next divider. We'll increment the divider and kind of repeat. And then eventually, the number should be just 1 because we'll have divided as many times as we can. So what we can say is while num is greater than 1, do, and we're going to say while num divided by divider is equal to 0. In other words, while the number divides equally into the divider, we're going to take that because the num divides equally into the divider, this divider is a factor. So we'll say factors dot push divider. Okay, and then we're going to say num is now going to be reassigned to be the value that is obtained by dividing it by divider. Okay, and we already checked to make sure that it divides equally in this condition right here. So we know we can do this, and we won't have any remainder left over. Okay, so we'll start off with divider equal 2. And we'll try to divide by 2, and maybe we can divide by 2, 3 or 4 times. We'll just keep pushing that divider onto our factors array and dividing the number by the divider until we get that number as small as it can be by dividing by 2. And then when we can't divide by 2 any longer, we'll say divider plus equals 1. So we'll just increment divider. Okay? And then when we get out of that loop, num will be eventually be 1, because eventually divider will just be our initial, like if it's a prime number, we'll increment divider all the way up to being the actual number itself. And then we'll divide the number by itself, and then the value will be 1, and we'll exit this loop. So somehow we'll get out of this loop. So let's start by saying console.log. Let's just print out this factors array, so we can see what's up, and kind of test our solution. Okay, so now we have to actually call project Euler 3, and for that we need this number. So let's get that. I'll put that in there. Okay, and so let's try to run and see what happens. Okay, so we ran. We got that. Here's our factors array, the question is well, is that the right number? You know, I don't know. Can't do this stuff in my head or anything. So conveniently enough, we've got a console right here. We can actually just use it like a calculator. 839 star 1471 star 6857 return. So 600 851 475 143. So it's cool. So that's actually that. If we multiply all these together, we do get the original number. So the factors is correct. Also, by virtue of our algorithm, you notice that we're incrementing the divider each time. So the last element of this array is going to be the the largest prime factor. Okay, and so that's the value that we actually want to print out. So we could say console.log factors, and then we could say factors.length minus 1. Okay, and let's run again and see how that goes. Okay, 6857, so we're getting the right value out, and so if we just comment out that one, now our program actually prints out the greatest common value. So we'll go back to here. So we informally test our program by running and inspecting the output. Sure, press the save button to create a URL to refer to our code. So we'll press the save button. And there's our new JS fiddle. We did it in 6 minutes and 15 seconds. Let's round up to 7 minutes. And there's the problem. The greatest common, what do we call this? Problem 3, largest prime factor. Hope you enjoyed it.